Welcome to this lesson. In this lesson, we are going to be illustrating how we'll be able to sum up the scores for each student here, how we'll count the number of subjects that were written by each student, how to determine the maximum that is obtained by each of the students, and equally to find the minimum score by each student as well as the average, and we shall be rounding the average up to some definite number of places. So to get started, we first of all carry out the summation by typing the formula. We begin by typing equal to sum, open bracket, B2 column F2. So F2 is the last cell, hence we click the enter button. So this automatically sums up the contents from cell B2 up to cell F2. So we are going to equally sum for Okafor Philip, having solved for Adams Emmanuel. So in like manner, we are going to type equal to sum, open bracket, we type B3, which begins the score for Okafor Philip up to F3, which ends the score for Okafor Philip. So we close our bracket and hit the enter button. So we will not be repeating that for all the students to save time. Hence we bring our mouse pointer to this small dot here, the bottom angle, then we click and we drag around the remaining ones. So this automatically sums up the scores for other students. So now remember that while we're summing, we use equal to sum and we reference the range. So in count, we are equally going to do the same thing. The range remains the same, only that this time we are going to replace the sum with count. So we are going to replace the sum with count, and we'll still specify the range, which begins from B2 up to F2, and we close the bracket and hit the enter button. So this means that Adams Emmanuel sat for 5 subjects or wrote 5 subjects. We'll repeat that formula and apply it to Okafor Philip. So we'll type equal to count, we specify the range, which is B3 column F3. So we close our bracket and hit the enter button. So in a case where a particular subject was not written, for instance, let's remove the figure for Okafor Philip in English and backspacing or deleting rather to remove the content, you'll notice that automatically this 5, which was the number of subjects written by Okafor Philip, by removing the content of English, will automatically change to 4. See it now, it has changed to 4. So if it happens that Okafor Philip did not sit for English, it will automatically write that the student has only 4 subjects as the subjects that he or she sat for. So similarly, Other students have 5 as their count. So if we come to Leonard Messi and we remove the score for civic as well, and remove the score for mathematics, for instance, you notice that the initial 5 has changed to 3. That means that Leonard Messi did not sit for 2 subjects out of the 5. So that is how you can apply this formula to check if the student sits for all the exams. So we have removed 3 scores for Simon Obadiah. So the count here has returned to 2. It's now 2. To imply that it's only Agric and English that Simon Obadiah sat for. Other subjects are empty, indicating that there is no score for such student. Now, for Rejoice Dominion, the same will apply to Rejoice Dominion. If we remove the score for English, it is now 4 subjects. Also, for Mahmoud Aisha, if we remove any score, either 1 subject or 2, is going to reduce the count that will be the count value that will be here. So let's proceed to maximum. Maximum is used to determine the highest score obtained by a student. So we type equal to max, open brackets, the same range will be specified. So we specify the same range. So this implies that the highest score by Adams Emmanuel is 76. So we apply this to other students. Okafor Philip has the highest score of 87. Wisdom Judith has 87 too as highest score. Ephraim Helder has 98 as highest, as well as Queen Charles. 89 is for Leonard Messi, 79 for Grace John, 80 for Esther Thomas, and so it continues. So for minimum, we are going to type min now, M-I-N, open bracket, we specify same range, So it has given us the minimum score by each student. So the minimum score for Adams here is 50. Okafor Philip 36, and so on up till Mahmoud Aisha with a minimum score of 56. So we shall be doing the average. So to do the average, you type equal to average, you open bracket, you still specify the range, same range, and you apply this to others too. So this automatically calculate the average for you. So in a case where we want the numbers to be rounded to whole number, or to 1 decimal place or 2 decimal places, you just need to give it the right command and that will apply. So if we want it to be round figure, all these ones that have decimal, to change them to round figure, I'll just type my formula equal to round, open bracket, I specify the cell, comma. If I want it as whole number without decimal point, I'll put comma 0, that is no place of decimal, and hit the enter button. Then I apply this to other ones too. You see that all the numbers with decimal point have equally been changed to rounded to whole number. So in the case where I want maybe one place of decimal, instead of entering 0 here, I'll now put 1 and apply. It will now change them to one place of decimal. Any number that has decimal points will be rounded to one decimal place. So that is it. So now on the bottom side here, if you want to check the highest score for each subject, you use the bottom side here. So you type it as equal to, we do know that the formula for the highest is max, open bracket, you specify the range, and you hit the enter button. You apply this to other subjects. The same applies to mean, which is for minimum. So we type min, open bracket, we specify same range and hit the enter button. We apply it to other subjects too, and that will automatically calculate for us what the maximum and the minimum numbers are. So that is just the simple way to do this as always.